Hello everyone, this is your marketing witch Begüm from Unhex Marketing, and today we will talk about your Steam page and how you can make it more attracting and give your game the visibility that it deserves. Here is the agenda. We will start with me introducing myself, my experience, and what I can do for you. And then we will go and talk about, is marketing just modern witchcraft? So that's a bit playful approach. And it's how I gamify marketing, so you won't get super bored when you are listening or even like executing your marketing tasks. And then we will face with our game marketing persona with some archetypes from Game of Thrones that I prepared, and we will talk about the difference between marketing and communication. And this is usually the general introduction when I start to teach about game marketing, because one thing I realized that game developers, they don't understand the difference between the communication and marketing and only focusing to marketing, and they are missing lots of actions they could take that can make their game better in marketing and making it more visible and create a genuine community. Then we will talk about Steam page algorithms, what do they like and what they don't like, and what are the latest trends. And then we are going to finalize the whole session with some curses that causes your game's death. And I will diagnose a few things, and then we will go through how in your own game marketing you can avoid doing that, or you can use it in your game's marketing hook, etc. And I would love to have the question and answer session, but unfortunately, since this is a live recording, we won't be able to have your questions, but you can always reach me on LinkedIn, and I'm chronically online in Discord. So if you have questions, you can just type marketing witch and you will find me. So let's begin. So who am I? My name is Begüm, and I'm originally from Istanbul. 8 years ago, I moved to Finland. First 6 years, I lived in Oulu and worked for a VR game company, Mekivi. You can also know them by name VR Kiwi. And we made the first VR game that entered to Oculus main store, top-selling games from number 2. It's the first Finnish game. And I was leading the marketing team. Then we started to publish other developers' games, and I was helping external developers with their marketing and giving them feedback. So we published, from our own company, we published almost like 5 games in 5 years, and I worked at least 5 other developers. So, and also I have experience with porting and how to communicate with each platforms, because we ported our game to 7 different platforms. I know it's crazy, but welcome to game industry. But yeah, so it was my first experience in game marketing, because I'm like a full stack marketing person, and before moving here I was working for 2 fintech companies, one from Denmark and one from Poland. So I have 13 years experience, but like last 8 years I'm in game industry, and it was a great choice for me. I collaborated with so many developers and so many companies worldwide, worked with like quite big corporate companies, but I also know the struggles of startup. I've been there. So I totally got you guys. And also I like this event marketing stuff, bringing people together and having meaningful networking. But besides that, currently I'm living in Espoo, and in my spare times I'm volunteering for We Love Games, and I was in Slush social media content creation team. And recently I'm one of the coordinators in IGDA grant program, so it's perfect for game devs like you. I can mention at the end of my presentation, because I believe that we should really support newcomers to the industry, because it's really wild out there, and that's definitely what we are going for. But besides that, I'm actually an art historian as well. I'm a singer, and I have 2 cats named Luhtu and Lucy. What else? Yeah, I think that's all about me. Oh, this April, I always feel like I have the best. This April, I started my own company, Hexen, and I am now giving mentorship and lectures and marketing support to indie game devs, and when it's necessary, AAAs as well. So, where the hell this marketing magic and marketing witch came from? It's the connection that I see between witchcraft and marketing, because they are interconnected in my mind, because every spell starts with intention and every campaign starts with a goal. And human mind communicates through symbols even before the language existed. So using symbols have really big effect in our subconscious. So when you are casting a spell, you are using sigils and candles to focus and direct your energy. And same goes with your game's branding. You are using symbols such as logos or like trailers. You have a language that you build to reach out to your audience. And sometimes it could be even like a real sigil that you are using, a symbol or a mascot that you are using in your game. And rituals are important because our brain understands and again executes with repetition. So the rituals come here. Spells need repetition, so you make rituals, and marketing needs consistency. So you really need to put yourself out there, but not once or twice or when you feel like it. You have to be consistent. So it favors the algorithm, and it helps you to reach out to a bigger audience and also help people discover you and your brand and your games. And of course, community. Without community, basically, no matter how your game looks cool, it's kind of dead-born baby, because nowadays even Steam and also investors, they want to know about your community. If there are people who validates your ideas and believes in you, and also potentially supporting your future projects. And a coven empowers magic. You are more stronger when you unite your energy with others. So I again found connection between there, and also of course timing and cycles are really important, because we are part of nature and nature has cycles. Spells align with seasons and moon phases, and game launches have to align with like events and cycles such as Steam Next Fest, and it could be holidays that you can use. So your timing has to be perfect if you want to get the best out of your game publishing journey. But yeah, so I've been called marketing witch for the first time. I think it was something like 2014 or something, and I decided to own it as a personal branding, and it truly works. And this is why you should think about your personal branding and generally games marketing, because this is how people will remember you, and you need to make yourself easy to find and something people can remember and people can come back to when they want to reach out to you. And also it's a way to stand out in a really overly saturated market. So let's talk about what is different between communication and marketing. Quickly, communication is how you vibe, and marketing is all the actions you take. Communication is how trustworthy, honest, and fun you are, how you are dealing with problems. Marketing is how you are showing that part of you to the audience, all the actions, like just promoting your game, making campaigns and creating like these trailers. Of course, they are part of the communication, but I see that communication lays the foundation and marketing comes after that. And I thought what would happen between if we would make only like communication focused strategy, or we would forget about communication and just go for marketing, and what kind of like balance ratio would be ideal for you. And again, I wanted to gamify that. So I wanted to create this choose your game marketing persona. Most probably you've already seen it in LinkedIn or other lectures, but this is a fun way to face yourself as a developer doing marketing tasks. Are you focusing only marketing? Are you focusing only communication? Or you are completely AFK, or you are doing well together? So our goal is to be like Tyrion Lannister, making communication and marketing together. So you know when to launch what, whom to talk with, what kind of tone you should speak to, if you are advertising, if the materials that you are using is fitting to your audience. So he gets really cool allies, and he sits to table, and with his sweet tongue he pleases people and reach to his goal. And that's exactly what we want to do. So you need to build the trust and you need to get results. These two will be the main components of your successful marketing strategy. And then we have making only marketing and forgetting about comms, because nobody got time for that. Then you become Joffrey, the that pushy sales guy kind of dude. So we see lots of like aggressive marketing, and it's usually super annoying to come up with those like buy my game, like always shouting kind of sales guys that you cannot feel the connection, you cannot relate. The overall brand seems off and they are not consistent. They are only like making their game and themselves visible when they are trying to sell you something, you know, like this. There was this influencers, I think early 2000 or something. They had really big audience, and then they would disappear and they would come back saying like, I miss you guys so much because I'm launching this. That's exactly the vibe I'm mentioning. Forgetting about your your bond with your community and coming back when you only have something to sell to them. So people don't like that, especially gamers. They hate that, because we are here for the genuine thing. We are here for the authenticity. So if you are being too aggressive in your communication, you don't know how to communicate, and you don't have a strategy, then you will get lost, or people will cancel you because you go to some public forum and talk BS about your team or your, I don't know, someone that criticizes your game. You get too overly emotional and just like go there and start a public fight. That's something happens. That happens when you don't have like a good communication strategy and tone of voice. So yeah, we don't want to be like Joffrey. But the Hodor is the most, I think, relatable character in this like Finnish game industry, especially the game marketing persona vibes, because that's what represent for me the communication without marketing. I see these guys everywhere. They are your like this friendly but broke guy. They have great personality. They are kind. Their jokes are cool, and they are making this awesome game, right? And they put their heart and soul to it. They sometimes talk about it, but when it comes to pitching or making social media content or writing a devlog, they are never using call to action. They are never inviting people to buy their product. So just vibing won't pay your bills. You need to balance your communication with marketing. You need to like pitch your game and ask people to wishlist it, ask people to come to Discord, ask people to, I don't know, come to your subreddit. Just put something out there that make people take an action on your product, not just seeing you as a friend. That's really important, but that's not enough. We want to be really political with this and combine these two powers. And if you're not doing any of them, this is also, I think, lots of game devs can relate to Robin Aaron. No communication, no marketing. They don't join to events. They don't want to leave their comfort zone. And they somehow don't believe their game's gonna be successful, or like this is very wishful thinking as well. This is a defense mechanism. They see that like a good game will sell itself. It will not, and your competitors will dance on your grave, and you'll just blame yourself that you were unsuccessful, you weren't good enough. But that's not the truth. You need to put yourself out there. I'll be repeating this most probably many times, but I want you to be successful, okay? So don't avoid your Discord. If you create a Discord server, invite people there, make posts about it, go to events, talk to people. And like, this is game industry. Most people are super laid back and full of like this creative people. You really need to, if you want something you've never achieved before, you should do something that you've never done before and leave your comfort zone. So, talking about leaving comfort zone, welcome to Steam. Steam, it's really important, but why? Because most probably you are making a PC game, and that's the biggest PC audience, and they know that. So they have 147 million monthly players. So it makes you a very big marketplace. And I think Steam also has this really like niche subconscious tone that also signals your market validation if you want to have funding or investors, or even like making a Kickstarter campaign. Even though your game is on other platforms, they first ask you about Steam. This is why we want to talk about how we can make your Steam page more attracting and cursing and breaking your curses. Because I think you want money, right? So if you want revenue, you have to be on Steam, and your page should be better, much better than the basic one. It gives you free visibility, and if people are engaging with your content or your game, wishlisting it, writing something, voting, reacting to your devlogs, etc., the announcements, that's something that Steam likes. And when they see this potential in you, they call it like this bite-size audience. So they are first taking and showing you to smaller audience, and then slowly bigger and bigger and bigger, and watch how people are engaging with your game, and then amplifying what you are already putting there. So let's understand first, Steam is not a marketing channel. Steam is an amplifier. What you put there, it reflects. So first you need to market yourself so Steam can market you afterwards. So you basically want people to come visit your page. So one of your goals with a good Steam page is a page that have traffic. So you really need to check your analytics. You need to check which countries they are coming from. It's going to set the rest of your content's tone, because you can also make some small arrangements about the countries that you are targeting. But any kind of wish list, clicks, follows, reviews, they are the things that Steam likes, and Steam boosts your game. So first they are showing it to a small crowd, then bigger and bigger. And they don't like you to put yourself out there just when it's convenient for you. They want to see consistent growth. So they will think that okay, these guys have good potential to bring us money because we are gonna get 30% of their cut. So if they get more money, we will get more money. So let's observe this, guys. So when we are thinking about what Steam likes and what they don't, the statistics show that Steam loves demo first marketing. And actually that was something we've done with one of our games, the one that got super famous, the Cave Digger VR series. We put the demo out there first, and we got this momentum, and then with all the feedback we got, we polished the game, and then launch it. And meanwhile, we built the community. So once the game was ready, we already had a community waiting for it. And we consistently fed them with news and what's going on behind the scenes and the progress. And our developers were also quite active in Reddit, talking to them. So publishing a demo first really helped us to get more visibility. But I can definitely say that like having a boring Steam page, not posting anything, hiding in your corner won't give you any visibility, and you will just waste yourselves and your game's potential. Another shocking thing is that you may think that like, oh, you have wishlist, good. Like your future is bright, and Steam says not anymore, because nowadays wishlists are not equal to guaranteed sales anymore. People wants to see the community behind that, because those numbers comes and go. Like people can wishlist you and purchase your game, but are you here in this industry for only one game hit, or you want to make it a constant like growth for your company and for your projects as well? Because you are going to need like a fan base if you want to make other games to be successful. So using wishlist as a leverage, but focusing to constant community updates is your like first thing to do. So relying too heavily on wishlist and going like silent until launch and think like, okay, I need to polish my game meanwhile, like they can wait. No, they will forget about you, because every month almost 1,100 games are being published on Steam, and they have really cool potentials, but more than 40% of them make less than $10. Not because like they are unsuccessful devs, they are not creative and their game sucks. It's just because competition is so high that nowadays having wishlist by itself is not enough. You need to add to your like portfolio. Think about it like you are searching for a job, but since now I'm old kinda, having one foreign language in your CV was a big thing right next to your native language. Okay, like my native language is Turkish, and if I know English, that would be nice. But in time, the demands are getting higher, and the market, like job market, is super competitive. So having English as a second language is not enough. I have to have German, Finnish, whatever is necessary for me to compete with others. Exactly, that's the logic behind wishlists are not equal to guaranteed sales anymore. So don't be overconfident just because people are wishlisting your game. Yeah, it's a good indicator that your game has a potential and you are doing great, but you need to support it with a community, because without your people, who are you going to sell your games to? Another thing, timing is really important. So how do I work with this projects? Usually if I need to make a roadmap, a timeline for my like game marketing strategy, one of my tasks that I put myself is taking a step back and checking the release date that developers suggested. Because you cannot go for like when developers say like, okay, we are launching this in Q1. Okay, but did we make enough like pre-marketing to build the community, create the hype? Just because developers are saying like we are going for Q1, you don't have to. You have to negotiate for the time that you are releasing. You need to go and check the calendar first, and check first of all very big like AAA games, because they have so much buying power. They are purchasing lots of advertisement, and there is a high chance that you'll just get lost in that like noise. And if you're even having like paid advertisement, you are throwing your money to street, because they are too big to compete, and usually they already have so many games published beforehand. So they are not like you building like community slowly. So you will get lost. What I do is marking those AAA company big, most famous games. And then the second thing I check is my direct competitors, same scaled companies, same scale, same genre kind of games. which one are new, which one has good potential. I mark their dates as well. Then I bring this calendar to developers. I say like, okay, guys, there is this game being launched now, and this month there is this, and this month there is this. So one of them could come up and say like, hey, like if this AAA is already creating hype, why don't we just launch at the same time and just like jump into their hype train and get benefit from their visibility? And I would say we have really small budget. We are a startup, so we need to make sure if we spend money, we are going to have return of investment and we are using it as best as possible, because you are also defender of the marketing budget, right? You need to spend it right. So what I would suggest, if you are in the same genre, if it's, for example, like underwater kind of game, it's a psychological horror. Nowadays, it's quite popular. That's why it popped to my mind. Yeah, there is a chance if there's similarities between those two games with the AAA one, you can try to jump, but I wouldn't put again all my eggs to one basket and heavily rely on that. I would find a sweet spot between my direct competitors and this AAA game, so at least the effort I'm putting there is meaningful. And actually, it's not going to be shadowed by others, because, yeah, we know the competition is sharp, but I don't want to get like cut just like that, because I have this like hyped developers cannot wait to market the game. That's the end of them. So if you don't have similarities, do not jump into that like major release hype trains. This is like no one will see you as edgy, and most probably you will cry in the end. But I'm trying to give you some alternative scenarios. Maybe, who knows, it would work, but I wouldn't do that. So let's talk about what makes a Steam page hot and how you prove that. What all this like small parts you are preparing means, and how Steam working it for you and maybe against you. Let's start with the game name, but first I need coffee. Yeah, I think game name is like a really big staple milestone when you are making a game, looking from like marketing angle, because that's how people will call your product and visualize it and imagine it. So it's also the keywords that you are going to compete with others and how people find you in Steam store. So your name should be short, clear, and searchable. If you want to go mysterious and like I like Latin language in general. I think it sounds really mysterious and like, I don't know, maybe it's because of the art historian persona, but I cannot remember most of the Latin named games. And nowadays we have even shorter attention span. So we need to help our potential players to remember us. And when they go and search it, they are not going to spend so much time on searching you, because we are already losing their patience along the way. So when you have a game idea, write all the keywords to a table, you gather with your team. And if you're a solo dev, do it by yourself. And so list all the keywords there, and then start to combine and imagine how your like this small capsule image would look like. It lots of visualization going on here. And if you're a game developer, most likely you're a gamer too. So you actually have a basic understanding of game marketing inside of you, because you are one of the consumers. Think yourself when you are like designing something. So avoid special characters, confusing words, and then check how it sounds, how your mouth feels. Does it fill your mouth with like, does it have a rhyme? Does it have a vibe? When you say the name, does it say anything about your genre? Does it give it any hints? So that's important. It's again like giving a name to a person. Your game is a person here. So when you have some combinations, then go to Steam store and just type the first or combination and check how many games shows up. These are your direct competitors. They are there to steal your potential players' attention. So if you go for really generic word, you will have like 100 games that your player needs to go through. So you need to act really smart on and think like a search engine person and come up with a good formula that speaks about your game's branding and also hints the genre a little bit, or else like an attention grabbing but rememberable. I know I'm asking too much. That's why marketing is not super easy, but you need to find a way to like find joy from it, and you can gamify it. So you can also use this chance together with your friends and families and test how they are reacting to them and read them. Okay, first candidate, potato salad. Okay. Second one, the fart's revenge. Just make like other people think which one fits your game the most, with showing your visuals and not without and without showing anything to them. So you can test how easy they can remember and how it sounds to your ears, because that's what people gonna call your name, game's name quite long time, and you cannot change your game's names afterward. So it all starts there. And I think before going to the screenshots, now I'm imagining the Steam store page. So you have your name, or as usually it works like a ping pong ball, like from ding, ding, ding. So capsule image, your game's name, then below, then below, then below, then below. So usually you have 3 seconds to get someone hooked in your page. And every traffic, every single person you bring to your Steam store counts. So I think creating like the key art and capsule image is really important, and it goes hand in hand with your game's name. So make sure that you have good contrast there. People like it gets attention, and it's going to be like really small sized. So I wouldn't put so many details and art. I wouldn't make it super crowded. Just go, for example, make like 5 games that you like, and some of your competitors, go check their Steam page, go check their capsule image, put everything in one page and then watch. Do you see any similarities? What works in your opinion? What doesn't? Then go for your own version with that. Of course, when you are doing, you need to consider mobile users' experience, not too much text. And when this is the first signal that you are giving to your page visitor about your game's genre too. If you have, again, psychological horror game, I think there is no point of making it look like it's like focusing to, I don't know, science fiction. It could be scary too, but you got my point. When you look at it, if it's a horror game, it should give you the horror vibe. Because it's going to be combined with your game's name. So that's the first thing they check, and the second thing is your game name. And of course, the first thing they check is your trailer when they scroll a bit down. So you have first 10 seconds if that person is giving kind of decision if they are going to wishlist it or take any action about your game. So you need to pass this company logos. Blah, blah, blah presents. No one cares. They want to see how this game works. They want to see the action. They want to see your unique selling point. So usually the recommended trailer is most likely 1 minute 30 seconds, and for 30 seconds only you need to have a teaser version of it. I would go for it because you are going to need it when you are promoting game in social media and Reddit and through advertisement. So you need to really make it look sexy. You need to like just grabs people's attention, and also think yourself as a consumer. Like most of the marketing is basically having empathy and putting yourself into your consumer's place and thinking, what would I do if I would be in their place? What would I be like focusing? What would I get annoyed to read lots of game reviews, like in Steam pages, the comments, and then you will kind of have an idea about what people want to see and what people don't want to see, and then you can polish your game and your marketing accordingly. And people also don't want, like, we are having way too notifications, way new information every day, and they don't want screaming videos all of a sudden pop into their screens, or some really loud music, and also we shouldn't think about our own experience, but think also the accessibility. Therefore, I would highly recommend adding captions, subtitles, so you don't lose people, even though when they don't click, they can still watch is flowing. And subtitles can, like these captions, can tell them something about your lore or generally your game's vibe. Screenshots are really important. I think everything we talk here is really important. They are all components of your biggest marketplace. So screenshots, imagine like you are having it like a dating profile, and screenshots are your Steam page dating profile. Photos. How would you like to be perceived? What do you want to show to the rest of the world about yourself? What is the message you want to give? What kind of people you want to attract? Because your vibe attracts your tribe. And I can hear you saying, yeah, but having good screenshots taking ages. Yeah, but you don't have to make it perfect. Like they're giving you at least like 6 to 8 screenshots. Only one of them should have the wow effect, because you are just middle of like developing a game. It's not final yet. So every time you have sexier like environment that you can take screenshot, you can go and update your screenshots. But first, just put whatever you have there. Just try to have one polished good version of the screenshots, or some corner that you want to show, or I don't know, if it's an action game, you can check the most kind of attracting scene and put it there. The rest, it's okay if they are not popping out. People will follow through your trailer and what you write there. I would put more effort on my key art, like the capsule image and that one screenshot and first 10 seconds of trailer. Then we come to the text part of it. So again, imagine Steam page. Now you saw the capsule image, you check the game, and then you read something here, you check screenshots, trailers, and then start to scroll down. That's when people decide if they want to stay or if they want to go. If you give this people who are being bombarded with lots of advertisement campaigns and always like buy this, consume this message, they want to see something structure, so their time in your Steam page worth for that. So we don't want to give them wall of text. We want to talk to their eyes. Hey, come here. Look, it's not that exhaustive. Just check this out. Like here, little tiny chunky pieces just for you. So their brain won't get panicked to think that, okay, how am I gonna go through all this text and read? So giving them like a structure, the before the content or whatever it says, make sure that you are using emojis to highlight some points. or you are like dividing small paragraphs to make points. So when we look at it like visually, everything looks quite good, like structure, or brings like symmetry, right? So you try to make it as symmetric, aesthetic as possible. And the short store description is your first handshake with the visitor. The long description is when they are hooked, but I'll give a secret. The long store description is just to made to please Steam's algorithm, because people, if they want to really get their hands into your game, they will check the reviews, they will watch the trailers, etc. This is for using your keywords and yes, here, using your keywords to attract right Steam spiders and then suggest your page to other people who has similar interest. So the long store description is made for search engine. So you should use your genre, your related keywords, and your unique selling points there. And yeah, short paragraphs, headers, bold keywords, sprinkle keywords again for searchability, but don't make it like you are talking to a robot. Still, your visitor is a human. And the short description is basically bullet points, make it easy to read. You can use emojis and highlight feature players care about. Don't spend too long paragraphs just to talk about your lore. It's not necessary. Just, again, you're a gamer. Think what you would like to see in a Steam page. And testimonials are something that game devs usually missing or underestimate. Most of the marketing actions that you are going to take will be built on repurposing stuff because you don't have resources, right? So for example, when you are making like a short content video for TikTok, you will use the same thing and recycle it for your YouTube shorts and Instagram and Facebook Reels, etc. Same goes with the testimonials, because you need to test your game with someone, right? You may think like, I haven't even like published my game properly. How am I gonna find people to talk good stuff about my game? Am I gonna bribe my friends? Well, that's your choice. That's an option. But I have a smarter idea. So whenever you are making your game engage with an end user, that could be even like influencers, beta testers, I don't know, your parents, whoever puts their hands on it and have an experience with that. Just send them some kind of Google form or ask them to write one sentence about your game, how it made them feel. Ask feedback from them. Then ask their permission if you can use it in your store page and in your marketing. They will feel important. They will say yes. And if they don't, I don't know, don't use it then. But that's a great thing for you to put yourself out there as a reliable, credible dev who had feedback, and like humans trust other humans' experiences more than they see the paid ads. So it's going to add real like credibility and trustworthy vibe to your marketing, and people will think, if people are liking it, maybe I will like it too. It will increase your chance. So I would use whatever bullets I have in my tool belt, and I would go for it. And when it comes to community links, I know I've been talking about communities a lot, but one thing that also doesn't work is opening accounts in every single social media platform and putting yourself there. One thing is real: decision paralysis. When you offer too many options to people, they will skip it because it's too much work for the brain. We want to simplify it. Give them a link tree. Put important stuff there. Prioritize things. And yeah, we are trying to keep things not panicked, overwhelmed, over-informed. We are there for like a collected and structured marketing approach and communication, right? So if I would be a game dev, I would first focus to my Discord and my Reddit, and then it could go, I don't know, Blue Sky and maybe Twitter. I don't recommend Instagram that much if you have energy, but the real deal is you don't have to be everywhere. You just need to be where your audience is at. So prioritize your channels and put just a few links, not to overwhelm people, but invite them to a healthy community that you are creating, so they want to be part of it. So now you have the Steam page ready. What are you gonna do? You still have some time for the launch. What are you gonna do? A, you will abandon everyone and just like crazy work on coding and polishing the game. 2, you are going to start your pre-marketing and prepare people for the launch and community build. Which one you would go for? You would go for the second one. So first of all, you need to make a market and competitor research, which should have been done already when you were preparing GDD, because if you don't put any marketing hooks to your GDD, it's going to be so hard and time consuming for you to just try to invent a marketing hook and then force it to the players. It won't feel organic. And each time your team expands, you have to explain things to the newcomer instead of just giving the GDD, and people understand the main marketing strategy and competitors and market in general. So make space in your GDD for marketing, my dear friends. So you know your players and you check your competitors. I would get, I don't know, again, first of all, I don't want to limit myself as a, I don't know, this small indie game and no one cares about the small companies and I am not a AAA. Yes, I don't have that much money, but I can always position myself mentally to their place and look up to them and always get the best practices from them and implement it to my own game with my way. So I never set my goals too low, and I would invest my energy to that. Because if you do something with love, if it's something that you really like, of course, as a marketing person, I don't enjoy all the tasks, but overall, I enjoy doing marketing because it makes me think a lot of different things: the culture, the technology, and the art, and storytelling, psychology, philosophy, so many things together. And we are so lucky to be in game industry, I tell you. Like, we could do so many other jobs, so why not benefiting from that and enjoy everything you put and put your good energy, what you are building. So just put your love to your Steam page and study similar game. One of them could be this AAA game that you are like looking up to and you want to be like them. And then 3 same scaled company or developers or game who is doing similar games to yours, who may take like the slice from that cake from the market, and just stalk the hell out of them. Stalk them, check their social media, check their LinkedIn page, and check their Reddit, check their Steam reviews, and also sneak into their Discords to check what kind of structure they are having, and then think, okay, how can I beat them? What I can bring table as a solution these guys don't have. Then start to set your social media. Meanwhile, since you know the competitors, since you know the market, since you know what to do and what not to do, that's a perfect time to sit and write your community and marketing strategy. Then create your channels. And then it's time to communicate and call people to come to your Discord. You need to also think about what you want to prioritize first. You want to send traffic to your Steam page, or you want to bring them to Discord. Because if you are in TikTok, etc., that's going to be your discovery tool. You are going to find new people. But what they make stay is Discord. So think which phase you're at, how is your community doing, and then you can balance your call to action. Some days you can make a post about like focusing to wish list, and one day it can be talking about your community, your Discord, etc. So just put yourself out there, as I said, and call people to join you. And also plan your social media calendar. What I would do is creating first themes. What are the themes? The themes are the roof terms that I can go and yap about. Like it could be Wednesdays are wishlist Wednesdays. Saturdays are screenshot Saturdays. These are all excuses and like these hype trains I can jump into. And I could make behind the scenes talking or showing how our developers are progressing with the game. Another thing could be, did you know this about our game kind of posts? And then I would decide how many posts I would plan for a week, and then list all the topics and then create content for it. And think about what kind of visuals or videos or like media I can use with it. And there you have at least 1 month worth of calendar that you don't have to panic about. You can go and schedule them. And then you can focus to your, I don't know, game polishing, game development sessions. This is going to make you save time and also will help a lot with your mental health, because this is not a sprint, this is a marathon and you need to use your resources really wisely. Okay, your social media is up and running, your Steam page is there, people slowly come to your Discord, then it's time to contact press and influencers because your launch time is approaching, right? So you have a reason to go and make noise. You shouldn't miss any opportunity to make you stand out and make some noise and just like get some attention. So create a press release and list the game journals. There are also services that shares your press release. So you can reach out to influencer. You can make a list of the influencer who paid similar game to yours. And don't only focus to these like big names. You can also focus to smaller content creators, because they tend to be like more connected to their community, they are more credible, and they are more like tight knit, so you never know who is going to open you what doors. So separate to micro and macro influencers. And also think about, okay, who could help me to be more visible? How can I cross market this with others? That's gonna give you lots of tasks to work on, but I think it's important for your company's growth and visibility as well, and also important for your funding. Yeah, so test your game with players, gather feedback, and use them as testimonial, use it in your social media, use it in your Steam page. So before the launch, we are focusing to creating the snowball effect. So slowly it's increasing, and you have the launch here. What are you gonna do for launch? During the launch, first of all, when you are getting closer, you already make the PR tasks. You are reaching out to the influencers, content creators, journalists, blah, blah. And the next step is going to setting up, if you have a marketing budget, no matter what, you need to already have the advertisement copies and what kind of visuals you are going to use, what's going to be your message. Do you have a landing page? You need to sort all these things out. So when it's the launch day, you need to activate all your paid ads and send all traffic to your Steam page, because this is the time people will hopefully buy the games that they wish listed, or if they are coming across to your game, they will check you have an active community, you're actively focusing to make this game bigger and bigger, and you are communicating about the updates. So they see something's living there and people are talking good stuff about it. There is a higher chance now to be part of this game and the community behind that. So again, we are seeing like a leverage. So if you build the hype until the launch, if you consistently do small marketing acts during the launch, whatever you do, it's going to be much more amplified and duplicated even. So you now have your ads running. Now it's time to go super shameless. You go to your personal social media channels, you go to your, I don't know, like emails, and announce everyone what you just have done. And people want to support this like ambitious, passionate people, and they will want to support you too. Just go put yourself out there and let people congratulate you and give you some again engagement, and tell people to go to your Steam page, send like ask wishlist. And you can also make small giveaways during this time. You can also approach influencers and give them, I don't know, 3 keys and make a community contest kind of thing. So also another call to action is your community. Now it's time to talk this with their friends. Word of mouth marketing is super effective. And meanwhile, you are supporting with the content creators. They are making videos on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok. You are repurposing your content, and meanwhile, like possibly you will get obsessed with your analytics. You are checking your like wish list reviews and player feedback, and where this traffic is coming from, which channels performing the best. This launch is going to require so big energy, and it's going to be super fun. It's going to be so fast. Time won't be enough for you, but try to note most of the things, take photos, and the worst case, even though everything fails in the end, this is an option too. Then you will have a great post-mortem material. Keep it in mind. We are repurposing everything. Yeah, so people will also come. There will be most probably crisis moments here. There are people who cannot play their games. They will need technical help. So you need to be as online as possible and answer this people's needs and help requests. This will also strengthen the bond between you and your players and your reputation too. So what are the key takeaways? First thing, don't wait until your game is perfect. Put yourself from day one. You don't need to be everywhere. You need to be where your audience is at. Your marketing effort before the launch will show how bigger visibility you get when you are launching. So consistently build the hype. Don't trust your wish list too much. Focus to your community. And instead of focusing to only like this big influencers, big content creators, try to be your authentic self, put yourself out there, talk about the game, or collaborate people who are sharing the same vibe with you. Now, as a final topic, let's mention what kills sales, what a game fails. One of the most normal reason is that maybe it's not fun enough. Maybe it's in a hard sell genre. For example, ours one was VR, and it was so hard back in 2018 to market a VR game when people didn't have even like VR goggles. So there was lots of experimenting, lots of trying, failing, learning, and doing better. So if you choose a really challenging genre, your marketing's gonna be challenging, but just trust the process. Sample size potential is off. The sample size is the thing that we talk about Steam, taking this like small audience, taking your game and showing to small audience and observe them, how they are reacting, engaging, wishlisting, doing things with your page. And then if it works, then the bigger. So your page doesn't perform well. It doesn't bring traffic. People are not visiting your page. They are not wishlisting. And even they visit, they just click close right away. So Steam says, okay, people are not interested in this game. This guy won't bring us money. So let's leave him to his destiny. That could be one of the reasons. If you have a weak or confusing branding, which means that players can't tell what the game is about at a glance, because you have 3 seconds. Dun, dun, dun. They need to see what is your genre and what is the vibe you are going for, the colors, the word choices, even the emojis that you are using. It's all affecting. So your game's marketing also depending on the branding, because your branding guideline sets the tone of all of your marketing materials. So your store page is boring. Your trailer is boring and long and not attracting anyone. Your screenshots are weird. It just doesn't say anything. And your text completely copy paste from ChatGPT. So Steam doesn't like that. And I think one of the worst and most fundamental thing is that you don't have any clear hook or unique selling point. What is unique selling point? When you are pitching your game, you need to be really simple. You could say something like, okay, my game is like blank, but in my game, we do blank. So you give them something to compare your game to. They can understand the general vibe and what you are bringing to table. If you are not communicating in your Steam store page, it will be just like one page of word salad that doesn't mean anything. And this is not what you are worked so hard for. So give it what it deserves. And your marketing is inconsistent and you don't have a pre-launch build-up, you're not creating the snowball effect. Steam says, like, okay, you can cry and write it to your diary, but if you are not putting effort, I'm not going to show you to other people. You need to deserve that. And another thing we've talked is the launch timing is bad. If you are competing with like these AAA companies and their audience, their fan base, or you choose to launch your game in the most crowded season. Like imagine you are putting your game in Christmas time. Like timing is everything, really. So these are the curses that kill sales as I saw. And I hope you get some things. I hope you could summon me, but yeah. You can check my LinkedIn from the QR code. If you have any problems, if you have question marks, you can also go to my website, hexandmarketing.com, and I have Calendly there. You can book 30 minutes free consultation where we can talk about your game and your strategy. Yeah, it was nice to talk about game marketing and hope to see you in another event. Take care.